Well, hello, friends. We're back for another episode of the Evolving Adventure. It is Greg EV sitting here in the imminent thunderstorm, and we got Brenna Thiessen in what looks like a beautiful sunny day. And you look like you're fresh back from a run, Brenna. Hello.
Hello.
How was your nice and sunny run today? Because mine was gloomy.
Well, yes, it is beautiful outside. It is warm. However, I'm kind of on the taper end of the marathon coming up here in Calgary, so I was feeling tired.
Yeah. And when is that? That's the end of the month, correct?
Yeah, yeah, it's May 24th.
How are you feeling for that?
I'm I always get so excited when it's marathon time because the training part is really hard, but I find I love the energy of Calgary when the marathon's here. I love race weekend. I love the day of the race. Like I just get so excited. And so I'm very pumped, but also I have goals in mind. And so I'm nervous and excited, but more excited than nervous.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great, and I think everybody feels that way to some degree when they've got something big.
Mhm.
First, I want to hear about your goal, if it's public, and if not, that's okay. And then,
Yes.
what got you into marathons? But first, your goal.
Okay. Um, my ideal goal, if everything goes well, would be 312 because then I can get into Boston, Chicago, and New York, which I've never done any of those three before. I have applied for Boston before, but as some may know, they sort of open it up and then they will choose like the fastest ones. And if you don't sort of make that cutoff with the amount of people that they allow, then you don't get in. So I've applied once before. I never got in. So I thought, okay, well, I want to do all three of those marathons. So I'll just try for 312. But between like 312 and 315 would be great. If I got over 313, I couldn't apply for New York, but that's okay. There are lots more marathons out there. So
Yeah, that is a fantastic goal. How close have you been to that? Will this be a personal record as well when you hit it?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, significantly. Like 9, I think. Oh, actually maybe yeah, like 10-ish minutes, 9, 10-ish minutes would be off my PB, but my the last time I did the marathon, which was in Minneapolis in October, I felt like garbage that day, and honestly, I'm shocked that I was able to like cross the finish line in the time that I did. Like I was so happy. I feel like I've never felt like crying before, like actually tearing up, and so I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself," because like the beginning of the marathon, I thought I was going to have to call my mom and be like, can you come and pick me up? Yeah.
Holy, in
Yeah, it was rough.
Minneapolis.
Yeah.
How was that weather day? Because that can kind of be all over the place. Like you could be sitting what I'm sitting in right now in October. You could be snowed on in October.
Well, that's what I was nervous about. So, like before, I've never been to Minneapolis in my life, and so I knew a couple people who had been there before, or like who had lived there, and so they told me they're like it's kind of cold around October time. So I was kind of freaking out. I'm like, oh my goodness, like it's gonna be freezing. I'm gonna be so cold. That day, it was like 27 degrees. I was freaking out the day before that I was going to be too hot. And yeah, it was really really warm that day. Like I remember there was a little bit of rain towards the end, thank goodness, but they were handing out like full water bottles on the um on the course. And so I was just like towards the end I was like filling up my water bottle into my little flask and then giving it to the person next to me cuz yeah, it was a very very hot day, unexpected.
Dang, that is a
Yeah.
lot. And how did that race go time wise and stuff for you? And
Um, I think I got like 323. Um, which I honestly, yeah, like I I was wanting to I prior to that, I had done 2 marathons before with Calgary, and I never look at my watch because I always feel like I'm going to get in my head. So this time I was like, okay, I'm going to look at my watch, like I'm going to pace myself, and basically, I don't know, like maybe maybe like 5 miles in, I don't know. I was like, I do not feel well. I did not feel well before the race, and then like during the race, I did not feel well. So then I was like, I'm not going to look at my watch anymore because I'm clearly not going to make the goal that I want. And so I just stopped looking at my watch and then I just ran. And when I looked at the finish line, I was like, holy moly, I'm so proud of myself for
That's
completing it,
awesome.
for one. And for two, I'm like, that time was damn good. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, congratulations. That's a huge
thank you.
accomplishment.
Thank
And,
you.
and what, I mean, Minneapolis, Calgary, what got you into wanting to run a marathon? I need to look up the stat of what percent of people actually do it. Maybe I'll do
Y-
that while you talk.
yes. I wanted to complete the marathon. I had friends who were doing it um, at YYC Run Crew. And so yeah, I think, I think it was like, it was that, but I also think it was, I think Calgary Marathon or Run Calgary came to Run Crew that day and was offering people discounts, I feel like. And so I was kind of like, oh yeah, I'll sign up. And then as soon as I signed up, I had like buyer's remorse and I was like, oh my goodness, like, what am I doing right now? So like I was so nervous to do
Yeah.
it. Um, and yeah, so yeah, it was like, it was a bit of, being inspired by like other people that I know racing marathons. And I was like, that's really cool. And then also, I think it was a bit like, oh, there's a deal and I like a deal. So,
Yeah. Fair. It can be expensive and do stuff.
yes, yes,
So
for sure.
exhaustive 3 seconds of research on the internet. 0.1% of the population completes a marathon every year,
Wow.
which is approximately 0.2% every year, approximately 0.1% of the total population. And that's 1.1 to 1.3 million people per year do a marathon out of
Wow.
however many billions there are. So congratulations just for getting out there and doing it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's awesome that you came into it. How did you get into running and or like when you moved to Calgary, how did that journey start?
It's yeah, it's a long-ish one, I guess. I growing up, like I never did sports. I didn't run or anything like that. I did do dance, but like I wasn't very good. I did, like when I was like 6, I did soccer. I played soccer, but I also was not very good. Like I would just kind of trail behind the like people who were running towards the ball and I would just be like, do not pass to me, please. Like I don't want to be passed to. And so yeah, I would just like, yeah, I was very, very shy growing up. Um, and then, yeah, I was in dance and then I had back surgery when I was 16 because I have scoliosis. And so um, I had to stop dance because of that and because I had surgery. And so then in grade 12, like 17 or 18 years old, my friend was like, hey, like, do you want to start running? And so I was like, okay. So we would just kind of start like running around the neighborhood and things like that. And then I also would go to sort of like this other workout class, sort of like within the community that I lived in. I grew up in Surrey, in BC. And so, yeah, like I just started running, and then I had another running friend, and me and him, we did Tough Mudder together, which was really cool in Seattle. I, yeah, I did most of the course. The only parts of the course I did not do for Tough Mudder were like the monkey bars, and for some reason, I decided that because I wasn't going to do the monkey bars, I would swim across in the mucky, muddy water. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't just run around. But anyways, I was like, well, I got to do something since I'm not going to do the monkey bars. Um, and so we did that together. And then I did BMO half marathon Vancouver. And I think 2014, I recently did like a timeline of everything. So I think that was 2014. And then for health reasons, I actually took time off running. Just it, yeah, I took a significant amount of time off running just because it sort of became like unhealthy for me. And so once I was sort of uh yeah, kind of like past that point, I moved to Calgary in 2019. And so my ex and I we got a dog. We got a dog together. And so I would sort of just like take him on runs, but then also I'm a nurse. And so I had this patient run away on group walk and so I like ran like I got called by the unit with the lady who was taking them on group walk and was like, "Hey, like this patient ran away." So I went out of the unit trying to look for the patient, and I was like so out of breath by that time. So I was like, I really need to get back into running, just so like in case this happens again, at least I'll like have some stamina. Not really thinking anything. And then I would run with my dog just kind of get his energy out. My ex and I split. My dog passed away like a couple years later, after we separated. And so then at that point, like I'd run a little bit more regularly. Um, and actually, when I first moved to the new area that I lived in, I went for a run and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go for like a 3K run, and then I'll do like a walk in between. Like literally the first kilometer, I couldn't even run the entire time. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so tired." So, that sort of evolved and changed, but as time went on. But once my dog passed away, I started joining YYC Run Crew, um, and yeah, kind of from there, like things sort of evolved. Um, my mom remembers like the first time I went to YYC Run Crew because I think she was in town at that time. Actually, the first time I went, I had arrived a little late. And so I arrived early, I think early or late, but I missed the time anyways. And then the second time I came back, or the third time I came back, I sort of ran with them. And my mom's like, yeah, you were so shy. Like you were standing off into like the back corner of the group. And now she's like, it's so nice. Like, and also like such a 180 of you like leading a group now and doing things like that. Um, but yeah, so then I started getting in with YYC Run Crew and started running with them, and that's like where I've made so many friends. Um, and things kind of just like took off from there with like finding community in running and also like finding passion with it as well.
Awesome.
Mhm.
And how did your run club come about?
My run club came about. I was heading into work one day and I really wanted to run on a Friday. And so I just put it on Strava like, hey, does anyone want to run tonight? A couple people were like, yeah, like, we'll come. And then so I went to the meeting location, which used to be Al Forno in Eau Claire. And so I met at Eau Claire there, waiting around for people. No one came. And then so I did the run by myself. And then when I came back, people had messaged me being like, oh, hey, like I wasn't able to join tonight, or like my haircut took too long, but I'll come next week. So I was like, okay, now I got to like do this next week. And then, next week came and some people came and then other people weren't able to come. And they're like, okay, I'll come next week. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be an every Friday thing. And so it kind of just like turned into every Friday. Um, the run group is called Fun Frugal Friday, because running is fun. It's frugal because you're not spending time, at the bar. You're actually saving money by running with my group.
Mhm.
And Friday part because we run on Fridays. So yeah.
Wow. And how is the turnout on Fridays? Because this is the first one that I've ever heard of that is a Friday evening run club that doesn't it's neat. Like, I'm really excited to hear about that because it's not something that I would really naturally go to. Oh, it's Friday. I'm downtown in an area. I'm going to go for a run. It's like, hey, there's a hockey game, there's a baseball game, there's this
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would say like when I used to do it outside of All Forno for the first couple of years, I started at 5 o'clock because I was done work at 4 o'clock. So then that I like had no time to go home and kind of like lay around and do nothing and kind of like wait. So I thought it was like 5 o'clock was perfect for me because I was like, well, I can just like go straight to the run club. But then I moved it to Lululemon on 17th. Just because like there's just a lot more access to like things to do afterwards, and it is a little bit more central to everyone as well. Um and I changed the time to 5:30, and so that really helped actually too. Um because some people found that 5 o'clock was almost too early, and I was thinking like even moving it to 5:30 was a little late because I'm like, well, if people want to go out afterwards, like they may, the 5:30 may not work, but it actually works very, very well. And yeah, I feel like people just, they like, community, and it's if they're not doing anything that Friday, it's like, okay, now they have plans to do something on the Friday. And it's also a nice way to like unwind after the work week as well.
Yeah. And what
Mhm.
kind of turnout do you generally get? And does it ebb and flow? I'm familiar with Calgary's weather. Most people probably aren't with Chinooks and snow and all of that. But like, can you touch on that for like, how do your numbers go
Yeah.
throughout
I
the
mean,
year?
it's I mean, this year's like I in January I started it from Lululemon and actually the turnout was really good. Even for like the winter time and stuff like that when like the first couple of runs that we did outside Lululemon, like I was shocked. I was like, "Oh my goodness, wow, there's so many people compared to where I used to do it before." Um but yeah, you're right. Like wintertime it does make it a little bit more difficult and challenging here in Calgary, but it is a little bit better than, maybe Edmonton because Edmonton is like cold throughout the year. And yes, we do get the Chinooks. So, it could be like -30 for, like a small amount of time, but then it could be like -2 in the wintertime. So that's really nice. But I tend to not run the group if it's below -15 just for like health reasons. And so so usually I give like a 2 hour notice. But yeah, our turnout is like in the summertime, of course, I think there's a larger amount of people, but I would say like 20 to 30-ish people, like on a really good night. And sometimes when we have like events and stuff like that, we just recently had uh the spring scramble. And so what it was is I got some um, gift cards and some businesses had like donated gift cards to this event and also prizes, which was amazing. Um, and so what I did was I like hid them throughout the different places we were going to stop. And so that turnout was so big. I was not even nervous before because I was thinking like just sort of like, the typical amount of people were going to come out. I know everyone, like sweet. And then it was like all of Calgary was there, I felt like. And I was like, okay, this is a lot more nerve-wracking than I anticipated. And sorry everyone, not everyone is going to get a prize tonight.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. Well, that's it. That's awesome that so many people will come out and will do everything.
Mhm.
And so here's a question because I know Calgary's close to Banff, and I'm just thinking, like, I know about Calgary, but I know a lot of people be like, "Oh, Calgary, I don't know," or Stampede, or it's the access
Yeah.
point to Banff. So, first question: does your
Yeah.
run group go during the week of Stampede?
Yes. Yes. We
Yes.
we go
Okay.
we go throughout. The only thing that is ever going to stop me is
Negative
-15 weather.
15.
Or when it's like a couple weeks ago, I did not do the run group because it was so windy. I maybe it was like 40-kilometer winds, maybe 50-kilometer winds.
Oh,
Like, yeah,
yeah. I
they,
know. Yeah, I
yeah,
know exactly that day because there was a guy I was doing something for work, and he was like, "Yeah, we didn't drive out the new trailer because it was whatever 100K, 60-mile winds on the open prairie." And I was like, "Yeah, that is exactly the day. I can tell you exactly where I was at 5:30 that day."
yeah, yeah. It was so bad. I went out running in the morning because during marathon training, like I'll do runs in the morning and then I'll go to my group in the afternoon or in the evening. And so, yeah, I was out there. I did like, I don't know, a kilometer. And then I thought, I cannot do this. So I went on the treadmill because I thought, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm going to get knocked over by something. The wind was so bad that day.
Dang. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something to do with. Are you anticipating wind on the marathon course coming up?
Oh, I sure hope not. But you never know with Calgary. I mean, last year it was really warm. The year before that was hailing in the middle of the marathon. And so you never know. I mean, I recently just went out to Vancouver because I did BMO half marathon and it was so warm that day and I felt like yeah, the marathoners they did incredible with what they were given with weather. It was like 27 degrees out there. So now I'm like a little bit nervous that it's going to be warm on like Calgary Marathon day. So yesterday I was like out in like a jacket just to, start to, figure out the weather and if it is warm, at least I'll be kind of used to it a bit. So
Yeah, do some heat training or sauna training or something.
yes, yes, exactly. 2 weeks out, but That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. So 2 weeks out, you're starting. Are you tapering, or are you just going to go straight through? I guess, yeah. As I asked that, I was like, oh, wait a minute. If you're going for a Boston goal, you're definitely going to be doing all the things that you're quote supposed to do. And
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So yeah, I am tapering now, which yeah, like it feels nice. It feels good. And next week all the Calgary Marathon festivities will start, which is very exciting. So I
oh,
think
festivities. There's
yes, like
festivities.
yes. The Monday we have sign making. The Tuesday is there's nothing, but that's YYC Run Crew Day. The Wednesday we have like a Taylor Swift themed shakeout run. The Thursday,
Okay.
there's an art run, Art Calgary run. Um, and so shout out to Chantel. She's doing that. The Friday is so many events in Calgary. We got Mel, Emlyn, and I we're doing a shakeout run and yoga and stretch with Lululemon on 17th. Then we have Revive Lab and BRB doing a collaboration. Then Run Calgary has Jonas. Um, he is a very funny individual. You may have seen his Instagram stories. He's doing like a comedy bit for Run Calgary. And then Saturday, we have BRB and Run Calgary Shakeout Run. And then also it's cheer station day for the 5K and the 10K, which I will have a cheer station on the course. And then Sunday is a marathon day. So there's a lot going on next week.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what? Hold on. Marathon's probably going to start 6 or 7 a.m. So you'd be done around noon by
Yeah.
noon.
Yeah.
10.
6:45 it
And like
starts.
6:45 it starts. Okay. Just
Yeah.
doing some math in my head. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Gosh, that is exciting. And
Yeah.
you're in taper. I'm just what do I do? Is running your main activity, or are you also active in the yoga, whatever else, whatever? I don't even know what else you do.
Oh, I mostly run. That's what I really enjoy. But, I feel like with being like yeah, running, people do so many other things. Like in the wintertime, they'll do like backcountry stuff and they, do snowboarding and skiing. And so I feel like I've gotten a little bit like I've been wanting to get a little bit more involved in like those different activities and things like that because I'm like, oh, I don't want to have FOMO from, missing out on all that kind of stuff. So but yeah, I do yoga. I do like yoga. I really enjoy Pilates. I enjoy biking. So I think also like with the marathon, coming up, I think also after like those are really exciting things to like look forward to as well. Just because so much of your time is sort of focused on marathon stuff that some of the other things that I do enjoy kind of take like a backseat just because I don't want to spend I can't spend my, all my hours, outside of work uh running, then biking, then Pilates and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Awesome. And
Mhm.
what does your daily food or calorie intake look like for your marathon training in terms of staying healthy and focusing on longevity? Like you're cross training with Pilates and yoga
Mhm.
and working on your little tiny stabilizer muscles that if you don't train can knock you out for 3 months. Not that
Yeah,
that's ever happened to anybody before,
yeah,
but
yeah,
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 what does that
yeah.
look like?
For me, it's, just like ensuring that I get enough carbs and things like that. I feel like I recently just saw a sports dietitian because I wanted to make sure that like I was getting enough carbs and things like that. And so just like, ensuring the day before I do like a really hard workout or like a long run that I'm ensuring that like I get enough carbs in there. Um and then also before too, like, honestly, I'm not a prone anyway. And so I was thinking like, oh, I would just have like one gel an hour, which is only 25 grams or like 30 grams of carbs. And then I found out this year on Instagram and I was like looking at a dietitian's Instagram, it was like, oh no, you need to be taking like 50 plus grams of carbs every hour. And so this year I'm like, okay, so during that I've, been sort of trying that on my long runs and things like that. So yeah, I'm learning along with everyone else, but like ensuring that I have carbs and like easy digestible things before I go for a run or before the marathon. Last year I was like eating like cheese and like eggs and bagels before my marathon, which is great, but maybe not cheese and maybe not like super high protein. So, yeah, this time I'm like focusing on just like Eggo waffles, bagels, jams, banana before I go for my long run and before the marathon. So, yeah.
Awesome. And what are you fueling with when you're out there? Are you gels? Are you bars? Are you drinks?
Okay, yeah. So I have electrolytes, so I have Exact, and then I use Huma gels, but I also really like Exact as well. So I use those two. I would say I mostly use Huma, just because I do like the flavors of them. I really like sort of switching it up between like a fruit flavor and like a chocolate flavor, like every other one. So that's why I use Huma mostly. Um, so Yeah, so the first marathon I ever did for Calgary, I used these like chews, which tasted really good, but I it's so hard to chew at the same time as run. And so I was having such difficulty. I was like, oh my goodness. And so yeah, after that I was like, no, we're not gonna use chews. I'll use chews on like a trail run or something like that. But yeah, I don't use chews for the marathon.
Yeah, yeah. Good thinking.
Yeah.
And you are a road runner. Do you have any aspirations for trails or things at one point? Because I'm pretty sure I saw a pretty significant and difficult race on your Instagram that is not the Calgary Marathon.
Okay. So yes, I do trail running. I would like honestly for me, um when I like trail runners are so like incredible. They're super fast on the road and then I go from like road to trail and I am not fast at all. Like it does not translate for me at all. And I also get like very nervous about like the footing and stuff like that. And I going downhill, oh my goodness. Yeah, uh, I'm, I'm a nervous Nelly, but I did do Minotaur a couple, years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago I did it. I had some friends doing it. And so I thought, well, what the heck? I'll do it too. And so I signed up on a whim. And I had never done screen in my life. So the week before we went out to Kananaskis and we did some scree. I learned how to do that. That was slightly terrifying. I was very nervous that I would never stop, but I did. And then I did Minotaur the next week after. And so I did it with some friends. Um, it was I should also like preface that I like me and hiking I can hike, but I'm like slightly scared of heights a little bit. And so even like a month I think before Minotaur, I did a hike with some friends and I was like so nervous at the edge. I was like holding on to the rocks and my friends were like, "Oh, we just need to like wait for Brenna like, you know." So when I did Minotaur, it was yeah, it was like nerve-wracking cuz it yeah, like that can be it's pretty steep and stuff like that. There are, you know, some nerve-wracking edges and I think maybe other people, who are like very well versed in hiking, they would be totally fine. But yeah, I was quite nervous. So I did it with like me and my friends sort of did it. And then um some of my friends, I don't know what happened. Like I think they were kind of like trailing behind me a bit. And so I just like kept going because I'm like, okay, one foot in front of the other, going up like the super steep hills. And then eventually I was like, I don't even know where they are, but I'm just going to keep going because I am quite slow at this, and my friends are actually like significantly better at hiking than I am and trail running. So I was like, they'll catch up. Well, it was like the end. It was like coming to the end. I'm like, okay, where are my friends? And also, I have like 20 minutes until this race comes to an end. And so I met this other guy on the trail run, and he was like, I did this last year, but I didn't finish, so I really want to finish. So we finished together. I think I finished with like I thought it was 8 minutes, but maybe it was 12 minutes. 12 minutes left to spare. Um, I was I was so tired by the end of it. I wore a helmet. I was like one of two people who wore a helmet because again I was terrified. My helmet was like off to the side like this in one photo. Yeah, it was nerve wracking, but honestly, I am so proud of myself. I feel like now, honestly, doing that, I'm like I feel like I can do anything. So yeah.
That's amazing. And congratulations for finishing. That is a
Thank
very
you.
hard race.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
got snowed out last year, if I know it got canceled last minute for weather, I think.
Yes, it was weather. I can't remember if it was like snow slash rain. That was the reason why it got canceled. I had signed up. I was going to do the mini one just because I still wanted to go out and see friends. But I was kind of, yeah, I was like, I, that was hard the year before. So I was like, I'll do the mini one. And then, yeah, we didn't end up doing it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Any aspirations? So wait, you're doing the marathons. You're probably not doing the Minotaur. It's probably the same weekend or pretty close to it this year.
Yeah, it's kind of the end of June, but I'm actually going to do something else with them, which
Oh,
I'm very much looking forward to. So,
what is your something else?
well, I had reached out to them because I thought it would be really fun and neat, and I was like, I could do the announcements, and so I just got confirmation that they were like, "Yep, come out and you can be the announcer." So I will be the announcer. I know.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's
I'm so
huge.
excited.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I'm so excited because it was just like, yeah, it's just like it's full circle. And also, like, I never got to see the people who finished first the last time because I was up on the mountain, probably not even like a quarter of the way through. So, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. And yeah, honestly, like, it's an incredible race. My time, like, on the mountain and doing it, people were just so kind and like, again, like I was very nervous about doing it. So people were like, just take your time. Like, don't worry about the people behind you. We just want to make sure that you get down. People were like showing me how to get across like certain areas of it. People were like holding my poles as I was like climbing up yeah, honestly, incredible community. And like running in general just always has such a, um, like a welcoming and inclusive community. And that, or at least that's what I have experienced, whether it's trail running or road running. So
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And what have you mentioned earlier that, your mom said you were very shy at the first time you went to a run club and now you're organizing one and you're doing
Mhm.
announcing at a major international race, which
Yeah.
is like almost the opposite of that. But what else have you learned about yourself through your journey with running?
Mm, mhm, mhm. Um, what I've learned about myself is just like you kind of just got to put yourself out there. Um, I mean, like even with the Minotaur thing, I was just like, well, I'm going to ask, and the worst that they can say is no. And so I feel like, yeah, just like putting myself out there, being true to myself, I just feel like has really, yeah, it just has like really paid off where people sort of feel maybe like welcomed. Me being really shy growing up and like even as an adult, like I want to invite other people who may be like timid to come out to like a run group, or like who may be timid to like race and things like that. Like I want them to feel welcome. I want them to feel like they belong there. Because I think in like different aspects of my life, I think we all kind of want to feel, we all want to feel like we belong. And I think in some aspects outside of running, I haven't felt that way all the time. And in running and in that community, I felt like I've been like really welcomed and like I belong there. And so I really want to create that space for other people. So,
Wonderful.
mhm.
And what have you taken from running into other aspects of your life? I'm thinking particularly like you finished the Minotaur, like I can see how excited you still are about doing that. How has that translated into other aspects of your life?
Mhm. Mhm. Um, I think, when yeah, I guess like when times sort of get tough, like whether it be running or in life, it's just like, okay, I've gone through tough times before and I can get through this again. When you're like in the marathon and you're like, I don't know, at the 32-kilometer mark and you're just like, oh gosh, this is hard. It's like I can get through that. And so I can get through other aspects of challenging times in my life as well. And sort of vice versa. I always think about like, when I like hit the wall at 32K and I'm like, hopefully not this year. But when I have in the past, I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know if I can do this. And it's like, I've gone through so many hard things in my life and I've experienced lots. And so I can do this. I can do this run. And yeah, I think, and also like not limiting myself either, right? Because I think if I had, like with Minotaur, it being really scary, and like the week leading up to it, I was so nervous. I was like looking at Instagram videos, messaging like a friend Tana and being like, how scary do you think this is? Like, do you think I can do this? And like, had I just stopped there, like, I wouldn't have been able to experience like everything that I got to that day, which was like incredible views, incredible people, and like feeling so accomplished with myself. So,
Yeah, that's
mhm,
wonderful
yeah.
and inspiring. So thank you for sharing all of that. What else is on your future possibilities list in addition to the three: Boston, New York, Chicago? Are you going to go for the world majors or the world trail majors, or
I
who
don't
knows?
know. I don't know. Honestly, like, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I think, doing all the world majors would be really cool, but there's so much to do and there's so much to see. And so the races that I have coming up are like Lululemon Seawees. I'm doing Sinister 7 relay. I did that one last year, which I really enjoyed too. Running at nighttime, terrified of running at nighttime, I thought, and I was so scared, and I absolutely loved it. And so this year I was like, I will do leg 6 because it's at nighttime, because I just loved it so much. And so, yeah, I'll do Sinister 7. I will do Seaweeds Run. I'll do Golden Ultra, which I've never done before, but I think it'll just be really fun. And yeah, I I love trail running for that aspect of it. Of just like it's it's so fun, and because I, maybe don't really have like these goals where I'm like, oh yeah, I want to get this time in the trail race to do this. It's more just so like I like getting out there and I like doing it and it's fun with friends, and yeah, I just want to feel like good after. So, mm.
Yeah, awesome. And how is your support? Like, you have your run club, but for trails and things, do you have overlap with your fun Frugal Friday people are also going out Saturday for Saturday trail adventures, or more just you or you and just a couple friends on an adventure? How does that look?
Um, I mean, there are trail run groups here in Calgary. I mean, that's the really nice thing about Calgary, right? Is like you get the river pathway for like road running, and then you have trails like so close. Um, and so there's like Calgary uh, trail culture, and there's like a couple other ones that you can find, like Calgary Trailblazers that run up at Nose Hill Park. And so, yeah, it's. I mean, I have friends who do trail running, and some more so than others. But it's yeah, it's if I want to go for a trail run, I'll just join a group.
Okay,
Mhm.
that is great. And what does your run group have going on? Like, do you put on your own events as well, or simply Friday nights? Is that a possible future thing, or partnerships with anybody that makes orange jumpsuits, or
um, so I recently we recently did a little collaboration with Primal, which is like a sauna and cold plunge at Rumble Boxing, and so we did that, which was really fun. We were supposed to do a run before, but that was actually the night of the wind, so we just went to Primal and did that. Lululemon, we partner with. They've been really great and really supportive of us as well. With the Calgary Marathon coming up, we got the shakeout run. And then I've done this 2 years in a row now. In January, I call it Fresh Start. And what it is just about finding movement 30 minutes a day. It could be like a walk, it could be a stretch. And we raise money. And so that money that is raised is for different charities that help support the 2S LGBTQ plus communities here in Alberta, because that is something that I am really passionate about. And so it's, just about giving back to those communities, or to those charities. And also with that, when people do or do decide they want to sign up for that and do the movement for 30 days, 30 minutes a day, they also get entered to win a prize as well. And so I have partnered with like really amazing companies this year, last year. Honestly, Calgary is so amazing. They're like the businesses are so generous when I reach out. And so that's been really incredible. And then when I went out to BMO, uh, for the Vancouver, we raised money for Looking Glass, which is an eating disorder center in Vancouver, which helps individuals who have eating disorders. And so we raised money. We partnered with Calm Contrast, and I also partnered with a very good run club out there in Vancouver. And so we did that, and we raised money, and we raised. Oh my goodness, how much money did we raise? I think we raised. I think maybe a little less than 2 grand. Yeah, I think it was like maybe 1,600 that we raised. Yeah, I think it was 1,600. So yeah, um, yeah, I think it's always really important to give back to communities outside of running because we all benefit. So
Yeah. Yeah. And you started a run club. I'm sure someone out there is thinking about doing it. What skills or background did you have to start it or to do it or to operate or manage it? Or are you doing it all as you go? Or like, what does that look
yeah,
like? Because I
yeah.
mean, it's a lot of stuff, a lot of organization behind the scenes, but you don't necessarily have to be a professional organizer to do that.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a professional organizer. Sometimes I, say the route and I'm like, wait, what was that bridge called again? Like, what was this? What's the street that we turn on again? So, shout out to Scott, who also helps me run Fun Frugal Friday. It's been really great to have him, and he's been incredible support. For just like it's always nice, I find, to sort of have someone like in the middle or in the back, to sort of like corral like people together. So I would say like, having two people to run a run club is really nice, but also like Lululemon has been really wonderful too. And they've been helping with like, having people sort of like who work there also come to the run club and also like help support it by like running with different individuals. We have a walking group now, which is really nice. Because I also think like just movement in general is really important. You don't have to be a runner, but if you want like community, it's also really nice to walk, or if you're injured, it's really nice to walk. But yeah, I have no experience at all. YYC Run Crew. I know I've shouted them out so many times, but honestly, like they like the way they run theirs it's incredible. They have done so much, and they are always just like a phone call away when I have there's been like certain things that have come up with like how do I manage this, or like how do I manage maybe some of the different things that happen in a run, like within a run group. And so like I'll text like Vicky or Alana or Raf and be like, hey, like how would you guys go about this, like how would you guys manage this, and we'll get like on a phone call and do like a conference call and be like, okay, so this is how I would do that. So despite having like different run groups and stuff like that, I feel like we are always just like a phone call away for each other, like an Instagram message away, just being like, hey, how would you guys like go about doing something like this? How do you manage, maybe this came up in the run group, like how would you guys manage that? So I think just like leaning on people, and like you don't know what you don't know, and so just being okay with like asking for help and support,
Yeah.
because yeah,
And that's a huge life lesson too. It's okay to not do it all on your own
yeah, yeah,
and ask for things.
yeah,
So you went from Vancouver to Calgary.
yeah.
I'm curious how that move went and what you've learned in that process of moving, whether it's about yourself, about the climates you do or don't necessarily enjoy as much.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, just the back and forth because they are quite different places
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I mean, oh yeah, the climate, yes, is very different. Um, here in Calgary, honestly, I sometimes forget what rain is because it like never rains out here, I feel like. But in Vancouver, it like never snows out there. But I mean, I love Calgary for like there's sunshine all the time, even if it's like -30, there's sun still shining. So that's really nice. Um, the I feel like people are just like really welcoming out here as well. From moving from like my family still lives in BC, so that's really nice to go out there and have like free accommodations. So that's really nice. But yeah, the one thing that I sort of like learned is like moving and stuff like that, and sort of, I think I had like really big life changes the year after like moving here. My ex and I, we separated, um and so like that was a huge life lesson, but it's like do things that make you happy and like don't stay in things that you feel like aren't serving you anymore. And so I mean, I think partially the reason why I stayed in Calgary at the time, I like I said, I wasn't going to run crews or anything like that. I wasn't even really like, it was like, kind of running, but not like really, I wasn't super involved in the running community at that time, or running in general really. And and so like, yeah, I think like COVID kind of kept me out here. Um but I'm so happy that I stayed here in Calgary. There are challenges like being here in Calgary, and I think, not to get like, yeah, political, but like the government can be really challenging here in Calgary, because I find that sometimes it there are like limitations, and they do try and put restrictions on like people and communities and things like that. Um but yeah, Calgary in general, I love the people here. Like so much. The businesses out here are incredible. The people out here are incredible. The running community out here is incredible. And so I will never leave Calgary. I can confidently say that. I feel like I will never leave Calgary.
Wow, that's a big statement.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it out here. Like I honestly don't think I would have made the friends that I have here now back out in Vancouver. So, and it's like it's a fresh start as well. Like when you move somewhere new, it's like a fresh start. You get to like, kind of like start over, meet new people. Like that's exciting, and like explore new neighborhoods. So,
Yeah, well, and kudos to you for making changes, and even though things didn't end up how you thought they might when you moved there,
mhm.
they still ended up somehow in some capacity arguably better.
Honestly, they
Yeah,
100%
I
better.
think
I would have never seen myself in this, like doing anything like this back in 2019. And yeah, now I'm like, that was the best decision.
ah, wonderful, wonderful.
Mhm.
For anybody who is going to be coming through Calgary later this year, how can they find you or connect with your run group if they want to come for a run by Lululemon, if they're
Yes.
bored on their way to Banff, if they got an extra day kicking around and want a little tour? Yeah, how
Yes.
can we connect with you and your run club?
So you can find me on Instagram at I am B Thiessen. So IAM B Thiessen. And then you can find our the Instagram for Fun Frugal Friday runners.
And what is some advice that someone gave you that you would like to impart on anyone out there who's listening? I mean, I'm listening here and you've made a big life change. Like you moved across a country, had some health issues, came back and are running. You're
Yeah.
going to get your Boston qualifier in 2 weeks. I mean, that's a great and inspiring story for anyone who's out there, any little girl that's 7 or 8 or wants to make a change. But what's something that stuck with you that you see the value of nowadays?
Mm. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Um, I think, oh, oh gosh. I don't know. I can't think of anything on the spot, but I
Yeah.
think like just being true to yourself. And you know, yeah, just being true to who you are and not changing who you are to try and fit in. Yeah, because people will like you for who you are. So, yeah, I think that's, I don't know. That's a hard one
Oh,
right
no.
now.
Yeah, that's okay. It'll come to you. We'll make something up. But yeah, like, it's great because like you've already said so many things of like you take a chance on this. You didn't know you went for a run. Like your run club and all these amazing opportunities are coming from you going for inviting people on a run on Friday, and now you're partnering with Lululemon and doing stuff. Like it's just
Uh,
taking a chance, and maybe I would bet you didn't know that's what was going to happen when you wanted to run on Friday night, and now here we are a couple years later.
Yeah, no, no, no. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think just like follow your heart, even though that sounds so cheesy and stuff like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
just like follow what you're passionate about, and don't do it for, like Instagram, or like, to be liked or anything like that. Like just do it for you, because I think people will see that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much for your time today, Brenna. I look forward to
Thanks.
connecting with the Fun Frugal Fridays Run Club when I am
Yes.
in Calgary. Maybe see it. I don't even know. There's a lot of possibilities now. So we'll see you when I see you in person. But I am pumped to meet people and see some of the Calgary Burrito League people that I saw
Yes.
on a little tiny screen. And I didn't even
Yes.
ask you about that. Let's do that because that was like I'm pretty sure I met you through Burrito League, and I didn't write
Yes.
it down. It's not on my list of questions, but yeah, what was your BL experience like? And is it
Okay.
Neil Cowtown? Cowtown's the Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Cowtown, yes. Neil crushed it, by the way, and so did Rob, and so did Tina. Honestly, everyone out there was crushing Burrito League. To be totally honest, when I first heard about Burrito League, I was like, this sounds ridiculous. Running up and down 17th Ave, like, what? And then one day I was like, woke up in the morning, I'm like, no, I'm gonna go check out this Burrito League challenge. And then I got there, whoop, no one else was
It's
there.
windy here.
Yeah. No one else was there. Just started running. And then I was like, okay, I'm only going to spend like 45 minutes here. I think I spent like an hour and a half to 2 hours there because I just loved it so much. Then I came back the next day and then the next day and then the next day. So it was such a nice community. It was so nice to run up and down 17th Ave. I loved it so much. Because it was just nice to see the same people there. I met different people along the run. And so Burrito League Challenge, I'm excited for next year. Yes, it was such a community. I loved it so much. It was great.
Awesome. And I didn't follow the end of it because there were so many things to follow. Were you one of the winners of a prize there or top five? I don't even know how Calgary did their
No,
prizes.
I think maybe like I don't think there were a lot of women out doing it. Like I think there were a few, but I think Tina got top. Like maybe I was second. I'm not too sure. But yeah, like Neil crushed it. Rob crushed it. Um, I'm trying to think like who else. There were so many people out there doing it, so it's kind of hard to remember. But yeah, it was great. Actually, for Fun Frugal Friday, one of the Fridays, Tina was like, "Okay, I'm gonna like run up and down and do the Burrito League challenge, so if people want to join." And so like other people did it as well.
Oh, cool.
Ioko also did it too. So yeah, for one of the Fridays, you either did the route or you did Burrito League challenge.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
So yeah, that could be the January thing.
yeah,
Let's see what January brings.
yes, yes,
Well, thank you for going out and being part of that and
yeah.
participating and getting people. That was neat to see. I think the first time I talked to Neil, I'm pretty sure there was a hockey game on because
Oh
he
yeah,
was running, and I was like, there are so many people downtown. My mind immediately went to like the Flames must be playing at home tonight, and he's like, yeah, I think there's a Flames game going on, and there's cars everywhere, and they almost got
yeah,
hit. I'm like, yeah, please
yeah,
pay
yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool. Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Brittany. Great vibes.
Th
Good juju for Sunday the 29th, Sunday the 30th.
24th.
24th. Yeah, that's great. My math is great. Sunday the 24th. We'll be rooting for you
Thank
and
you. Thank you.
seeing, watching you get the Boston qualifier.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks
Right.
for having me.
You're welcome.